Welcome to part 2 of my segment of creating a teaching task. Before we get into core tools, let's just quickly review, just in case you did not see part 1. 4 key ingredients to a successful teaching task is knowing your content standards, anchor text that you're going to use to surround the learning, supporting text that's going to give you opposing ideas, or maybe going deeper into a certain vocabulary word like virus or bacteria, and then some type of product in mind. What do you want them to create? When you look at your content standards, there should be keywords like summarize, explain, that would lead you into what mode of writing you would use. This one, I'm going to go ahead and probably use explanation or evaluation. Both of those are going to break down each of those different parts of that standard. Your authentic writing piece, it could be an argument, it could be a journal article. In this case, I believe I will use the argument. Your anchor text could be a textbook, or it could be a pretty good book that you could use in the classroom. It's something that you really want to engage your students in, something that's controversial, especially if you're doing argumentative writing. Survival of the sickest, got some information on parasites that take control of their hosts, which is very interesting. And then Hot Zone goes into the different strands of Ebola and how it's related to AIDS. So these are some great books that I've used in the past. The American Plague, I believe, starts out with yellow fever. So some ideas. Your supporting text should give some, reinforcement to the content, or maybe opposing views on certain things. As you can see, you can use podcasts, online resources, magazines, YouTube, Discovery Education, your local library, TeacherTube, and of course apps. Please check out Plague Incorporated if you're doing anything on the spread of pathogens or disease. Of course, BBC News is another great free app to have. Remember, critical focus question needs to take it to higher order thinking. Well, how do we do that? Look at your combination of words. How might is about the deepest. You're really getting into meaningful imagination, where if you had 25 students, it'd be 25 different papers. Whereas if you did what is, you're probably going to end up with just the surface learning, maybe 2 different ways that the ideas are presented. So be sure to move this way when you're creating those critical focus questions. Here's an example of a few that I created. Sometimes, you got to look at different perspectives, especially when you're teaching the content standards. So be open to creating more than one critical focus question, and then give yourself some choice when you go create the module. And then we're going to start right here and move to core tools. I'm going to take this, what I've already created here, and show you how to put it into core tools. So go to the website. You should already have your login information. Everything's in. Hopefully you're working on your second module. If this is your first, just click here, click new module. It will give you some options. You can create from blank or create from prototype. If you click create from prototype, know what mode of writing you're going to be using, argumentation. So unclick those. I just want the skills only. If you have mini tasks, there's a lot of writing, a lot of deleting if you're not using those mini tasks. So go ahead and create from prototype. This will load up. We want to edit. So we'll type in our title. Let's say War on the Microbes. If I want to change author or collaborate, this is the option I have. If I want people to be able to see this will list everyone that's working on this module with me. All I would have to do is type their names. I could allow them to comment, which is these little bubbles on the side. I could just let them view, or I could allow them to edit. If you have this notified or check mark, then it will send a notification. Just want to give you a little background on that because collaboration is very, very important. This right here is going to remove that prototype below. See right here? So all you have to do is go remove and close it back out, and there, it's gone. This is where you enter in the description. You can control what grade levels. The bottom button you can lay on top of the other one. This is actually 8th grade standards, science, and we would say this is microbiology. Hit save. Now I need to go ahead and select a template task. Hit plus task template. Will take you into here. There are several different collections. This is the most up-to-date collection, which gives you 10 modes of writing. I believe secondary was 2.0 was only 9 modes of writing. Explanation was added to it. And they also put that word hypothesis in there. We said that the students would be researching, and we were using 9. Okay, so click there, it highlights it, and then click here, you select a template task. That will bring you down here. On the previous one, I tried to copy and paste. It doesn't quite work, so let's go ahead and type in that critical focus question. Okay, the question is there, put a question mark. Now we're going to look in researching. Okay, this is going to be looking at teacher selected after reaching researching teacher selected. And we're going to write a argument. In which you discuss, back to our content, and we're going to discuss the spread. That's that second objective in those standards. And I want them to really evaluate the characteristics, which refers to that first part of the standards. All right. So the information's in there. Of course, we want them to support it. We're going to hit demands. We want to add a demand. I really want them to look into the competing views. So I'm going to use D1, add that selected demand, and hit save. There we go. Now my task is there with my critical focus question. Demands there. Now, if you follow this framework, all the reading and writing standards will be embedded. You do have the option as you create those mini tasks to say which reading standard is being used or which writing standard is being used, but the process of creating a paper or argument will cover the reading and writing that the students need to understand. Down here, additional standards. This is where I will go in. I will add my standard from science. Let's go down to North Carolina. There we are. Click North Carolina. Took me right into the physical standards for 8th grade, which is good. This is actually a life standard. Let's see right here. Add this standard and this standard. Okay, so those are going to be my focus standards. I could add biotechnology, however, they're probably not going to go too deep into the biotechnology, so I might use this completely as a different unit, or maybe create a series of mini tests to cover the biotechnology. So add the selected standards. Like set up here. If I had to select a focus, the focus is really on the characteristics of each type of microbe. So we'll set that as focus. Text right here. Click edit. This will allow us to add the text. So if we're using online articles, all we would have to do is paste in the URL, say what it is. If I'm using those books, I would give the name, and then I would write the bibliography or the information right here. That way, you know, we live by what we preach. So, and if I have files, I want to upload them. Maybe articles I've saved to my computer. This is where I would do that. If you have more information on selecting text, there is a video right here you can watch. Below that are your rubric for the argumentation. This is broken down into 7 different elements. To look at each of those elements, just click on it like this. That way you're not scrolling down a lot of different pages. Background information. You're really looking at what do the students need to know before they begin this unit. So what did you teach before? Or what was taught in 7th grade that has to do with what you're teaching right now? And then that's all. That's how you enter that information into CoreTools. If you have any questions, please comment down below in YouTube and I'll get right back to you. Thank you very much and have a great day.